Alright, hey, what's up, guys? This is TBone here. Welcome back to another episode of playing Legendary Game of Heroes. This is a live stream on Tuesday. It is September 1st, and we are going to be talking about the new Earth Slayer event, which also is the first event where they're going to be featuring cards from the show, The Boys, which is an Amazon Prime exclusive show. So, we're going to take a look at the cards, and we're also going to take a look at some of the new things that they've added for this particular event. And then we're going to hopefully try them out and see what they are. So let's take a look first at some news feeds and see if there's anything that's worth noting. And if we take a look at the news feed here, they tell you that the boys have arrived. For those of you who are not familiar with it is a show about superheroes and what could happen if the superheroes don't necessarily they aren't necessarily what they seem, or what what an ideal hero might be like. And so that's what I'm going to say about the show. I think it is a pretty good show. I enjoyed it. So if you have Amazon Prime and you are interested in checking out, take a look. All right, so this particular, like I said, this season, well, not this season, but this week, right, kicks off like a series of I think 5 weeks worth of new cards. It's all going to be based around this, and so they're introducing new ways for you to obtain the cards. So I'm going to go through how to get those cards, and also we're going to talk about the strength of these cards, because they do have a little bit different mechanics this time, and so we're going to see how good they are. All right, and so the cards, how you can get them. So you can get Homelander if you go into the vault. Now, there has been people noting that tier 3, where there's supposed to be a guaranteed Homelander, some people haven't been getting it, but it has been reported, and they said it should be getting to you within the next 24 hours in your inbox. So if you purchased vault up to tier 3 already and did not get a card, you should get that in by tier 3. You can also get Billy Butcher, Wee Huey, and Starlight if you go into the Pro and Starter packs. I'm going to tell you what those are for those of you who are not familiar with it. And then there's also quests for Blinding Starlight. We'll talk about where you can get that. And then you can also go into the dungeons to get the cards. And also once the event starts, you can also fight those supers, and then you can get them from there. And there's going to be Revival Vault this week. It looks like they're going to go back 3 events worth of cards. So you can see 3 events worth of Earth Slayer decks. Okay, so now let's take a look at the cards themselves, and we will see whether they are good or not. Because I think if you've already had a chance to look at the cards, you might feel like it's a little bit different. Some might think it's good, some might actually think it's not that good, but let's take a look anyways. So here's Homelander. So this is a card. It's one of the special cards that you can obtain in the game from tier 3 of the vault. Personally, I would have thought that this would have been either a light card or a fire card. I thought that this would have been a good warden, actually, for a water event, just because of the way he is. But he has green, and you can use them in your team. So this is going to be sort of like a event card, right? So it's got 10 times bonus, not 13, not 15, and the basic skill is 4 power gem 4s. So this is very akin to some of the older event cards. There was one that I forget, it was from the very, very first generation 3 card. But it has a 2-turn cooldown, so it's not as bad. And the passive ability is that it permanently has 100% increased attack. So whatever this attack value is, it will be double. So it's going to be whenever you use it, it's always going to be stronger. But it is an event card, so you can only use it as a leader in guild versus guild. I've seen some people use this card as a leader because they think that it is part of the event. Make sure that you're careful about it, because you're not going to get your 300% damage and 600% health boost if you do that. And this card does Dispel Blind. All right, so this is one of the special cards, not part of the actual event deck per se. Whereas these are the cards from the actual deck with the Ultimate Form, Ultra Rare card, and the Master Collection. All right, so if we take a look at the Ultimate Form, which is a Reaping Royalty, this is a Noble Killer event. So the previous Noble Killer card from Earth Slayer is going to be the United Taurus. I'll showcase that in a little bit. But for this card, the battle skill is going to be very interesting, because the battle skill doesn't give you any gems. What it will do instead is it will cleanse a debuff. So an enemy debuff would be something like Gem Silence, Power Gem Silence, those count, or I don't know, Flatline is another one, Traitor is another one. And then it also dispels one enemy buff. So it dispels both things. And an enemy buff includes things like Armor, includes Fear, Thorn. Honestly, this would have been really helpful in the last event that we just had. It would have been really, really helpful in the previous water event that had both armor and weaken as the debuff as well as the buff. This would have been a very useful card, right? So what it does is it gives you the cleanse, but the thing here is it only cleanses Earth Slayer cards on the team. So if you have anything that's not Earth Slayer, you will not get the cleanse on it. So that is the thing that you have to be careful about. Read the fine print. It doesn't work if it's not Earth Slayer. All right. And so they're starting introducing the skill that only benefits its own affinity edge as opposed to across all the cards, which to me, it feels like a little bit backwards, like a step in the backwards direction, because I think this would have been a super useful and super awesome skill, except it's very much tied to the Earth Slayer. So you can use other Earth Slayer cards. You just won't get the benefit if you use anything else. All right. Passive ability. So it's got a couple passive abilities. The first one is it will create 6 Power Gem 5s if and only if you dispel a buff or remove or prevent a debuff, right? So that counts if you have any other cards on the team that does like a dispel. That would also count. And if that happens, then you'll create 6 Power Gem 5s. And then it also gives you self-attack increased by 80% for 3 turns. The wording here makes me wonder whether or not you're also going to get the 6 Power Gem 5s every turn for 3 turns, or if you're just going to get the one time and then your attack boost is up by 80%. So if anybody has already tried this card, let me know. I will love to hear from you about that. So that's where you get the Power Gems. And then the second passive ability also creates 4 Power Gem 4s at the beginning of every turn. So they're sort of moving to this direction where the cards themselves, like, you activate the battle skills to do something different, but you're always going to get Power Gems. You're always going to get Power Gems. And so this type of style makes it really easy to play in certain modes. So it could be good, but let's take a look at the rest of the deck and see how it works out. All right, so Oliver says that you do get it every single turn. So yeah, so then you get, at least from the one card, you'll get Power Gems every turn, only if you dispel or prevent a debuff or a buff. And we got Aaron Bach from Singapore. Welcome. And some of the people I see, the usual suspects, welcome to the stream. Thanks for joining me here, guys. Then we have the Ultra Rare. So now I'm taking a look at, I guess this is the Ultra Rare card. Yeah, I probably should have looked at the Master Collection card. Let's take a look at the Master Collection card first. This is TBone. And TBone will create, it's an upgrade skill. So what this does is it will upgrade 5 Earth Power Gems to a rank higher. So if you have like a Power Gem 4, then it goes up to Power Gem 5 and so forth. We've seen this type of mechanic before. Not sure how I feel about this in general, because 5 Power Gems is not a lot to be upgrading, to be honest with you. Especially since you can't increase the number of gems that it powers up. It just doesn't feel like a lot. Especially since like this is the only card that does that. I would have liked to see it go at least 6 or 7. Like if you had a full Gem Crush, I would have expected the Master Collection card to be able to convert all 7 of them to 1 higher. So like that's what I think would be a little bit better. And then the other passive ability, also it creates 4 Earth Power Gem 4. So this is where the Ultimate Form gets its second ability from. So essentially what it does is, like, let's say you had just this card. You can create 4 Power Gem 4s, and then you can upgrade all 4 of them to Power Gem 5s if you had just this card. Okay, so think about this, like every 2 turns, if you didn't have anything else but just the Master Collection card, you're basically guaranteeing yourself a 4 Power Gem 5s every 2 turns. And this is where I was like, well, the passive ability then probably could have gone to 5. Just like, it's kind of a waste, right? You can upgrade 5 Power Gems but you only generate 4 on your own. Like, what if you don't have any other good power gem spawners, right? So I kind of feel like, personally, I would have liked to balance a little bit, just from looking at it. But I think if you have multiple copies of this, you're going to be able to get a lot of Power Gen 5s just because you're going to passively spawn Power Gen 4s anyway. And so I think that is where the power lies. It's a 2-turn cooldown, so not too bad. Although the ultimate form is a 3-turn cooldown. Okay, and that's because the ultra rare card, True Form and Lee, is a 3-turn cooldown card. And what this does is this is the one that will give you, the dispel of both the debuff and also a buff. Again, this only dispels from Earth Slayer cards, so you cannot get benefits for everything, for all the other cards. And kind of weird that it's a 3-turn cooldown. Would have liked to have it matched to be 2 turns. But I guess what this gives you is you get the power gem spawns every time, for every turn, basically 3 turns straight. If you successfully deactivate the buff or the debuff. I mean, like, it could have done it for 2 successful turns with 2-turn cooldown. Like, it would have been the same. I just personally prefer a lower turn cooldown activation just because then the order doesn't go out of sync, but it's not a big deal. Okay, so that's the deck overall. By looking at it, it's hard to tell whether this is going to be a really good deck or not, but the fact that you have a lot of passive gem spawns means that it is going to be useful for both the gold, the Corellium gold trials, and it could also be useful in something like a guild versus guild mode if you have predominantly Earth Slayers as your primary team. So that could potentially be something that could help you out a lot. So like if you, for example, if you run like the King Making You deck, right, with that particular deck, for example, like that could potentially benefit from it. Now let's take a quick look at the event card here. So we got Soul Stirring Leroy, and this card is a Master Collection card. It's an event card that's separate from Homelander. So both of these will benefit Guild versus Guild, but this one creates. It doesn't create any power gems. Instead, it upgrades. So this one acts just like the Master Collection card and just does the upgrade. And so, but it does passively create 3 Earth Power Gem 3s at the beginning of every turn. So you're essentially guaranteeing yourself a Power Gem 4s every 2 turns with just this card. So I think it's going to feel almost like having Savage Swarm, right, where it passively creates, but it's every turn it creates Power Gem 5s. Well, with the 2-turn cooldown and you can upgrade, it's kind of like that, where you can basically activate every 2 turns, but you do need to match. You do need to match gems in order to activate the skill. Whereas the passive ability, you just get it every single turn. So that is kind of nice, right? We got comments saying that Leroy is cute. All right. So the artwork, I think in general is this is a very different type of artwork, and these are all elves, right? And so I thought that it's pretty decent, although the background is a little bit too green. There's like too much green all over the place. I was doing the banners, and I realized that there's really no good contrast, especially for the ultra rare card. Whereas with the support card, well, in the 5-star version, the background is a little bit pink, right? So it's kind of nice. You got a little nice contrast with the green outfit. But then you look at here, at least there's some brown in here. Whereas like with the ultra rare card, everything is green. Like you can't even tell the foreground from the background here. But this is a little bit nicer, right? So Princess Anli. So this is a support card, and what she does is she gives you a heal and creates 10 Earth Gems. So this one's going to be susceptible to both Toxin as well as Gem Silence. So that is something to watch out for. And you'll be able to dispel poison. So a lot of the changes, like the changes they made so far recently, is that the support card usually has a unique dispel. So poison is going to be one of them. And then the other one that you're going to deal with is going to be armor, which you can get rid of by her skill. And then also blind is the other one. So blind, poison, and armor are what you're going to be dealing with, right? And then in terms of the collection cards, there's really nothing to write home about. They're basically one support card with Rudolph, and then 2 event cards, neither of which are especially useful here. So Debris is the event card from United Taurus deck. I guess it's okay. Like it destroys gems, and then and then for every skill points you have, you can destroy more, and then it creates basically just 2 power gens. So like it's nice if you don't run an off affinity deck, but when you run an off affinity deck, these gem destroyers aren't really helpful. And then you have Cobra the Swift, which is from the Hard One Gorillas deck, so it does give you a nice nuke damage potential, but it only nukes for, I think this one does, how much is it? This one will give you an additional 50%. So but this one has the ability to go up by 5 times. So you're gonna get 2.5 times 250% damage nuke with this card. So I take it back. This one is actually not too bad. So this one is a good one. All right, so let's take a look and see if we can get the cards. Then we're gonna move on and sort of see where can we get the rest of the cards, because some at least the Warden should be obtainable for free. And we're also gonna talk about what the Pro Pack and Expert Pack is all about. All right. So let's see. Conwell and D, you think this team would have been better as a Commander event team? Yeah, I think the mechanics makes it feel like it's a more Commander style to go through the waves. You're definitely right about that. Because with the Slayers, it's about like getting as much power as you can so that you can get the MVPs. But we'll have to see how that all works out. All right, so let's go ahead and open up at least 3 tiers. And I'm not sure if the bug is still there where you don't necessarily get Homelander on tier 3. So again, if you have not received Homelander 3, I don't think you need to write to support, because you should be receiving that in your inbox. Hey, look at that. Master Collection card on tier 1. That is pretty sweet. But as I was saying, you're going to be able to get the Homelander tier 3. If you don't get it, you should get it in your inbox within the next 24 hours, before the event starts at least. Hey, we're off to a really good start. So Master Collection card, this is the one that upgrades. Okay, so it does upgrade, but it has the passive ability every 2 turns. So that's tier 1. Let's see, tier 2. Fingers crossed, let's get our ultra rare card. So as much as I've never actually obtained a full event deck by tier 3 or 4 actually. And so this is the support card, Princess Anne Lee, and this was the guaranteed support card in tier 3 here. And let's see. Let's go to tier 3 and see if we can get Homelander. I do have enough gems, like just enough gems to get tier 4, so we'll go there if we need to. But hoping for the best here. Yeah, and they added the text on top so you can tell what card it is. All right, so this is going to be the main event relic. That's good. I always wonder, is it the main one or is it the rare one? Okay, and so we got our relic. Now the question is, are we going to get Homelander, and is it going to be a silver or gold reward? Oh, there it is. So I got Homelander, but it's supposed to be, it was listed within the gold, but I guess it's a part of the guarantee. So hey, we got Homelander. And so we have just enough to go for another tier. I'll be left with 36 gems, but I suppose we'll do that. Let's go for this, right? And so if I get the ultra rare card here, then that does mean that I'll be able to get the full team, and I'll be able to get I'll also be able to get the shiny if I can. But given that I'm getting the support card as the extra card here, it's unlikely I'll be able to get that. So we'll just be picking up, and this is going to be the relic, right? So that's not the main relic. So we're going to be picking up our event card, our 2 relics, and I have a Master Collection card to go with it. So we can at least kind of check that out and sort of see what can we do with that. Right, and that's going to be the soul, and that's going to be the event card. Soul Stirring Leroy. Unfortunately, no ultra rare card. So now I'm, I had 1 Master Collection card from the first water event, and now I have the Master Collection card from this event. So the question is, which one am I going to use my token, my coins on to get the ultimate form? And honestly, I have to say, at this point, I might still be leaning toward the water one. So I actually kind of feel that I'm not sure that the ultimate form is going to be as useful, really, except for the debuff, right? You can cleanse the debuff from the Earth Slayers. You can also dispel the buff, which is okay. You do get 6 power gen 5s every 3 for 3 turns straight, as long as you can dispel it. But aside from that, I'm not sure that it's as useful as the water one is. Right? Both have 2-turn cooldown, but with Ambush, I just think that it has that much more potential. Although with this one, now you could use this card as the off affinity card in another deck, right? So like you can run like a water deck or a dark deck, and you can put this card in, and that could be your off affinity because it will passively spawn power gems, right? Any card that can passively spawn power gems is going to be a good one for you to throw into an off affinity deck, and so I think that that is going to be an option. All right, so I mentioned that Earth Noble is something we've seen before in United Taurus. So United Taurus, this is the card. It is available in the Proving Grounds if you do decide to get it, but keep in mind that this will destroy all non-Earth gems. And so what this will do is this will basically get rid of all of your, passively spawned power gems. And so you're going to have to be very careful that you can use it because it does give you it can give you a pretty nice set of power gems overall. It's just that you kind of have to be very careful about it. Like we tried something similar in the previous event with the dark event deck, and I don't feel like it worked great. And so not necessarily going to run this on its own, but you could potentially, just throwing an idea out there, you kind of already know that I might be suggesting something like this. And that would be like if you use United Taurus as the leader, or if you have the event Ultimate Form as, not as the leader, but United Taurus as the support card. And you can also use the current event Ultimate Form as a way to give yourself a nice 900% damage boost. You can run a Hard One Gorillas deck, and also you can put in Jailers, and this is where this might give you just enough power gems to take advantage of Aegea. Although you might consider changing that to this with maybe this other card. Hold on a second. It might be better to go with Sky Swarm Kachina or the Defiant Duet, right? Because you get more power gems this way. Actually, you get more power gems from just from the delays. That's an option, right? But it's not something that everybody has. So it's kind of just throwing it out there. This is just a possible idea. But what I want to do here is I would like to try and see this card in action. So let's go ahead and throw some of these cards in there, right? So let's throw the event team on there, and let's see how they work. And then we're gonna talk about the other cards and where you can get them. All right, just gonna kind of throw them out there. Homelander, don't make it a leader, and here you go. Now in terms of relics, we do need to make sure that we have noble relics, right? So the thing is, I think that there is no noble Slayer, and so you're gonna have to look for Earth Slayer now. They sort of changed this so you can only that they no longer fall under like the event the killer type anymore. It's like Earth Slayer is where you'll find them, right? And I happen to have a couple of these, so I will just kind of throw them in here. I'm just throwing random relics on there. I just kind of want to try this out just to see. So I can also evolve my support cards because let's see, let's go and evolve her a little bit. Can evolve her? Can I go up to 6 stars? No, I can't. Okay, I think I can evolve her here. No, I can't evolve anymore. Okay, so let's take a look and see what this is going to be like, just so that we can kind of see what it's about. And to do that, what am I going to do? There's no maps. I wish that we could do maps still, right? Legend Trials. Do I do Legend Trials? No, I'm just gonna do a regular. Just gonna do a regular campaign. We're just testing out the cards, right? So let's go ahead and just do a regular campaign. And if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna go 718, I guess, and throw in a card that's not an Earth card, and make sure we don't loot, right? And so we'll try this. So let's go ahead and change the team. We're gonna just kind of take a look at the skills of the cards, and then we're going to go back and take a look at the rest of the cards and see where you can obtain them. And so it's going to be right here. All right, so this card and the event card, both of them are going to passively spawn power gems, and then we can upgrade them. Okay, but in order to do that, you have to charge them 9 gems to charge, and then we'll see how effective it is. Like thinking about this though, it doesn't look like a team that spawns a lot of power gems, right? So I don't have the ultimate form. I don't have the ultra rare card, but I do have 2 cards that can passively spawn. Okay, so you can see here. So it passively spawns here. All of these cards will. So the Homelander will create power gem 4s. Okay, so then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, and then we got 1. It's gonna be random, right? So I'm gonna activate the Master Collection card, which upgrades 5 to 1 rank higher, and so it is random in what it will upgrade. And then what does this do? So this one will upgrade 4 to 1 rank higher. So it is random, so you can see that it actually picked up a Power Gem 6 and then upgraded Power Gem 7. And so it's nice, but then if you don't have any other cards that can spawn Power Gems for you, then you're kind of stuck with that, right? So if you don't have a lot of Power Gems, then upgrading it to 1 higher isn't necessarily going to be that much more impressive unless you sort of fill the board with other gems. So it's going to be difficult. You're going to have to, and of course, I did Gem Crush there, right? And so you're going to have to do something like this in order to have more power behind it. Now, imagine though, instead of the 2 support cards, if I had the Ultra Rare card and the Ultimate Form, then I guess it would have been a little bit better because I would have more power gems there. It's just that you're not going to get the power gems from turn 1 because you need to dispel something. You need to dispel something on turn 1 and you will never dispel anything. So your passive ability will never kick in until the 2nd turn. So the passive ability for creating all of the power gems like 3 turns in a row does not kick in until turn 2. That's the very key thing to remember. Whereas we're used to being able to activate the battle skills and just kind of have a go. That particular skill will not happen that way. English song, is it better to upgrade before or after Crush? I would say if you still have other power, if you have other battle skills that's going to create power gems, it might be better to wait, because like if you upgrade and then you crush it, the problem is you're not going to get a better power gem. So if you upgrade it to like a power gem 9, right, and then you have a bunch of power gem 4s afterwards, it just crushes back to a power gem 4, and so it's not quite worth it to do that beforehand. So like you want to make sure that you're done with the crush and then use it. And so I have just a Master Collection card here. I have the event card, and so the 2 of them I get passively between 8 to 9 power gems. That's 4 from 8. Oh, 4 and 3, 7. So I get 7 power gems passively from these 2, which is, it's okay. Like Con Willingly said, it's a little bit better for the wave situations. Like it's great for this style, right? It's great that if it was a commander event, I'm playing waves and power gems are kind of spawning. That's good. 2 turn cooldown for my gen spawner, so that's okay. But ultimately, like, I would probably want to throw in other cards that can spawn power gems. Like I need to. Like if I had just a Master Collection card, and if I just have the event card, I still need gem spawners. All right. So now I have this. So I finished with my. So now this is where I'm going to activate the skills to upgrade my power gems. Right. So at least I can get power gem 5s out of that. So like this is how I would need to maximize my my damage. Otherwise, you get a crush. It's going to be an issue. So James Glenn, is Arcane better on the 2nd turn? So if you're going to play with Arcane, then I would say you don't need to wait until 2nd turns for Arcane. If you're going to be using Jailers, then you're going to be good on turn 1. Like you can see here, like after using up all my battle skills, this is all I get. This is all I get. So it's not I don't know. It doesn't feel very strong just like with just this, right? Like I'm sure if I were to get the full team with my coins, that might feel a lot different. But let's go back and take a look. But so far I'm not quite impressed with just what I have right now. Like generally, like if you got a Master Collection card, that's great. But this is not the card that I feel is going to feel great. Like yes, you're upgrading your power gems, but I've never liked that mechanic as much, right? I've never really enjoyed that mechanic as much. Like if I were to change this deck up a little bit, I would want a deck that would, you know, give me a lot of power gems, and I would want so I need power gems. So I need power gems, and so in order to do that, what would I throw in there instead? I forget what does Intrepid Voyagers do again. Intrepid Voyagers creates 4 and creates an additional one on the next turn. So not there's not a great like single turn gen spawner, except I mean, yes, there is. So I got Making You I can use, right? Making You does create 6 power gems. I don't need to use Making You. I can use Verdant Druids. So Verdant Druids will passively create 6 power gen 4s. Or no, this 6 power gen 3s. So I think that's okay. So passively I can create a bunch, but like if I were thinking about like, you know, what would be something that can really make it pop? Yeah, this is an option. Another one that you could throw in there, which we haven't used in a while. I don't know if I like Unbreakable Sisterhood as much. This one's a trap event, so that you kind of have to get hit first. But what this does is it will create 4 power gems, and then I think 6 power gems on the first turn because of the way it works. But you can, if you have this card, you can also use it. I'm looking for this. Looking. If you have this card, it gives you 10 power gem 2s. So immediately this is going to be better, right? I think I only have 1 of him. I don't have 2 of him, so I can't use that, which is a shame because that would have been really cool. But let's say we throw in Verdant Druids in here, for example, right? Now let's see what difference that would kind of make. Right, so yeah, so like Druids would probably be something that you'll want to throw in there. So let's kind of take a look and see the difference that this will make. Just kind of testing it out on the fly right now just to see what, you know, what's good, what's bad. And again, we're going to use a non-event card, a non-earth card, just that we can simulate more on what the event will be like. The Barca's lack of power, yeah, because it's a generation 2 card, unfortunately, so it doesn't have that it doesn't have the empowerment. I mean, like if they would just make generation 2 cards empowered already, I mean, that would be great. There's no reason to keep them like so low power. They just can't fathom it. There's just no reason, right? Okay, so with Abarca, you just need at least 4 power gem 4s on the board or more, and then you will create 10 power gems total. So like on its own, this card is pretty decent, right? It has a 3-turn cooldown, so it's not too bad. And the thing with Verdant Druids is you have to make sure that you have at least 1 power gem on the board, otherwise it won't spawn anything. So let's see, right? So I think that you'll have to do something different. So like this mix is not too bad. And if you throw in too many, throwing Druids and then too many Making Use, you'll just end up crushing the full board. So that might not be as useful, right? Kit Hot Hoops Squirt Plan is decent. So I think that's a Dragoon, right? I don't use Dragoons as much. So let's see, the Earth Commander from the last season, which gives you passive skills, 3 power gem. So you're thinking about Savage Swarm, yeah. So like all of those cards, any cards that can give you more guaranteed power gems is going to be more useful. So in this particular case, like what we got here is, you know, ability to potentially create, you know, so we're gonna just be upgrading, and it like the upgrading, it just feels so unsatisfying. Like just upgrading it to 1 higher, it just doesn't feel very satisfying at all, especially since I can easily upgrade this to a power gem 10 with another battle skill. Like the fact that this just upgrades it to 1 and it only upgrades 5 of them, it's not very satisfying. Like I think that it's interesting to me because honestly this type of mechanic honestly feels dated. It already feels dated. Like if it was something like, hey, this skill will upgrade all of your battle skill, all of your power gems by 1, all of them, everything that's on the board by 1, that'd be different. But this one, it feels underwhelming, and you have to mix like older cards in order to really make it pop, I guess, so to speak. And so I'm not too impressed. right? I'm not sure that I am too impressed with this mechanic right now, at least from the Master Collection card and event card side. Yes, they passively will create some power gems, which is good for wave fights, but it's not something that gives you the ability to get the kind of power you need in order to take down a boss with MVP. Like you're gonna slowly chip it down every single turn, right? And the way that Gem Crush works and the way that you do the off affinity is you need something to fill the board to the point where you can then upgrade all of those power gems. And so, but we're not talking about upgrading it by one. We're talking like upgrading it by fours, right? You go from 4 to 8 to 12 up to 20. Like you need to literally be activating the power. You need to be getting yourself like, you know, a few power gem 20s on the board in order to really do anything. And going from power gem 4 to power gem 5 or power gem 5 to power gem 6 is not really going to make a difference. That's not going to make a difference when it comes down to it. Right? So to me, I think that it feels too weak. Now, of course, I'm not playing with the ultimate form, but most of us aren't, right? Most of us aren't getting the ultimate form, and so getting a Master Collection card, as much as I am happy with the luck that I had, it just doesn't feel quite as satisfying to use. Like it's just like I feel like something is missing. All right, so let's take a look at where else you can be getting your other cards now. So we're gonna take a look at the two possibilities. So first one, you can get the limited Starlight, and this is the $5 pack. This is going to be your basic pack. If you this is a starter pack. Okay, so you get the starter pack, and if you spend the $4.99, then this will be upgraded to, I think, maybe a $10.99 or $9.99 pack, and that's going to be your pro pack. So the pro pack is going to be the one that will give you either Butcher or Huey, and then after you get that one, you're going to get another pack. Then that's going to be the expert pack, and I don't know what the price is going to be. It could be, I don't know, $14.99. Like if they were to just go up by $5 each pack. So it could potentially be, or it could be $20. I don't really know, but that's going to be the expert pack, and that's going to be again between Huey and Butcher, whichever one is in which deck, which pack. I don't know. And so this one though will continue to stay. You can see 34 days. You have 34 days to decide what you want to get, and this is a bounty hunter, a slayer, and a commander card. And what this does is it's exactly the same as Homelander, except it has a 3-turn cooldown as opposed to a 2-turn cooldown. Why? I don't know, right? Starlight and Homelander, they have the same abilities, except Homelander has 2-turn cooldown and Starlight has 3. They should have been equal. They should have been equal in power. There should have been zero reason for this to be weaker. To me, it feels weaker. And it only increases max HP by 15%, right? Max HP by 15% or 100% attack increase. I go with 100% attack increase. Like I said, it should have been exactly the same if they were going to keep the power gem levels the same. Like, that's just my thing, right? This one doesn't have killer skill. I guess that's also the other one. You're right. So Ben Circuit was it $20 and $50 for a Hellboy event? I don't remember anymore because I only spent the $5 to get Hellboy, and looking back, I probably shouldn't have done that. And then so that's where you can get. So this is for cash. Okay, so for cash you can get that, and then you can also get the Warden. Okay, you can get the Warden. Where did I see the Warden? The one that you can get from the Warden is if you go into the dungeons, but where did I see where you can get that again? I don't remember. Somebody remind me where I can find it. But if you go into these dungeons, like the fire dungeon, for example, and then you go through and then you defeat one of the enemies, then you'll be able to collect the quest. Like it's in the quest somewhere. So it's in the play menu up on the top. Oh, here it is, the boys. Here we go. Thank you. So at the very, very top, you'll see a banner there, and this is where you're going to be able to see the Warden, which is going to be blinding starlight. So this is a Warden, and did I give you the card? Yeah, so this is a warden card. That is it's a light card, and it's not killer skill based. This is actually considered a special class, and we have had special class cards in the past where you can actually take advantage of the relic. So we've had, I think it was the light Amy rainbow event, and they are special relics, so you can take advantage of those. This one, as a warden though, the skill is auto heal, which is not very good, right? The power though is pretty significant at 33,000 to start, and so I think that is going to be it's just gonna boost your power, but as a skill it's not that great. But what you do is you just have to go through the dungeon. So you go to the fire dungeon, and you go into the gear dungeon, and then also defeat Temple of Gold. Now for Temple of Gold, my recommendation here is that it's I don't think it matters whether you go for beginner, medium, or hard, and so it does cost energy. And so if you want to like increase your chances of encountering Maeve, then go with the beginner. I think that's all you need to do. It doesn't say you need to go through hard or medium, and so going through the beginner, it only costs 10 energy. Stamina, sorry, not energy. It costs you 10 stamina, and so it increases the chances of you being able to encounter the boss you need to complete this quest. So that would be my recommendation there. So James, last event warden was the best one in a while. Yeah, I haven't upgraded any of my recent ones yet, so I don't know. But it's the new wardens are always getting more and more popular, right? And so the tickets don't work for the warden. Yeah, so make sure you actually play through. Don't loot, right? Like if you loot, then you're not actually going to be facing those bosses. You need to actually play through the waves and then actually face the boss, and that will help you. So let's just kind of see, right? So like I would say go for the beginner, because you still go through the same number of waves, right? And we're gonna play with the deck that I just built here. I mean, it's against a light boss, but let's see if we encounter Maeve here. The hard one has a guarantee you did it twice, and each time it was there as that last boss. So let's see, right? Like I'm starting by saying let's try easy. If we don't get easy, then what you're saying is hard has a guarantee, so that's good. It's just that I kind of feel like, well, it costs 25 energy, costs 25 stamina to play, and if you don't have that much stamina, then it's going to be you're gonna have to wait for it to recover. New Emu, you don't know if they actually will let you get 3-star light wardens. So you did a hard one for each, and you got them also. All of the levels are with it. Okay, so people are saying like if you get food, like, it doesn't matter. All the levels have them. So, well, that's good. Let's see what we get. I thought that you have to complete all 3 to get the warden, but I guess if you complete each one, I guess you get something. So you get the 4-star Starlight the instant you complete today's tasks. Okay. So it's a 4-star one. I guess you just have to upgrade it regularly. So Isaac, you ran all 3 quests, and the boys boss came on all 3. And there it is. Oh my gosh, I didn't even pay attention. There's Maeve. I should have. I wanted to wait a little bit. I didn't pay attention. So there it is. So we defeated Maeve, and that was one of the quests. Right. So we got that, and that came from easy. Right. So like I said, if you're running low on stamina, you can just go with that. And we can collect our reward. Come on. That gives me experience. Okay, so here it is. So you can see the numbers here, right? So completing the 3 quests gives you the 4-star, and then completing 10 gives you a 6-star, and then completing all 30 gives you the ascended version. I guess that's what you're asking about. You don't know if they're gonna actually give you. I don't know. I don't know if it just like upgrades your card to 6-star, right? From 4-star upgrades to 6-star, and then you get all 30 upgrades it to ascended. right? So I guess don't level up right away, just in case that you can upgrade for free, so you can save your catalysts, right? You don't like to level up, so you save energy. Unfortunately, when your guild is in the same day competition, unfortunately. Well, thank you very much, James. Okay, so this is Starlight. I mean, this is the one good part. This is how they should have done every single special event. To be honest with you, every single event, give us some quest, play through the quest, and we can earn the card, and then we can progressively power it up by playing more every day. We get a little something. Like this is how special events should be done, right? Unlike the event that shall not be named, aka the fourth anniversary event. This is how you do events, okay? This is how you celebrate. You get something, everybody can get something for free. People who want to spend money can spend money if they want to, but hey, those of us who don't want to spend money, we get something out of it too. That's how you celebrate. So, anyways, looking forward to getting my Light Warden, since I do have a Light Defense. So, looking forward to beefing it up a little bit. So, that's going to be it for this event here. My personal feeling is that it's not... There is collection value in having all the cards from the boys, and what I like about it is that going to tier 3 gets you Homelander, right? So you get Homelander from tier 3, which is the tier that I would recommend most people get anyway, just for the coins. And so the fact is, you don't have to empty the vault to get the special collector item. And if you like to collect, hey, play through the event, get the tiers, and then do all of your quests. I think that's fine. But as far as the deck itself, I'm looking forward to seeing somebody come to me and tell me and let me know that I am wrong and that it's actually a super OP deck. Like, I just don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it. Like, I think that the only thing I can think of is potentially beneficial for running a Earth Slayer GVG attack deck that allows you to cleanse everything. But beyond that, I just don't see this being the type of deck that is going to be as great as some of the others. I don't know. You know, let me know in the comments, or show me in my chat room and let me know. And I'm looking forward to hearing from you guys on how it is. But my personal recommendation, I still feel the water ultimate form is the best so far out of the 3 we've seen. And this one doesn't scream power to me. It doesn't scream, I don't know, it doesn't even feel as fun to use, just because the ability to upgrade power gems just kind of feels so anticlimactic. And so let me know. This is just my personal feeling. So James Planton, yes, let me know. Comment down in the video afterwards and let me know what you think. Once the event starts, I guess we'll see. Like, all of these ideas that I have could be thrown out the window, but I am definitely going to be trying out, personally, I'm definitely going to be trying out, some variation that involves this here, but more likely I'm just going to fall back on something like this. Because the nuke ability of Harrowing Gorillas is what will help me. It's just such a good card. I hope that for those of you who have watched me, in the past while, listen to the recommendations and got this from the Proving Ground store, because it is a very helpful card. And so, anyways, I'll be trying out the different decks, and I will give my comments about it afterwards on how I feel the event went and how the cards go and what the best combination I can come up with. So it's kind of like what I did the previous event. So hopefully that will help you out. And yeah, so that's gonna be it for me for today. Thank you very much, guys. Unfortunately, couldn't show you the full deck, but at least we kind of got got a chance to see what the event card and Master Collection card is like. And so hope you've enjoyed this. Thank you very much for the for all the good feedback and the comments there. And take care. Have a good event. I'll see you next time.